Hello and welcome to another video of practical use it AI art. In this way I want to show you how you actually can use it in specific projects. So right here you can see it's an image from photoshoot I did recently. It's a Star Wars inspired theme. So we're going to take this image, process it, work. We're going with a Midjourney actually to create our backdrops. And best of, I'll show you what string I was using, how it's created, how you can select and create different versions for our backdrop. And after this, we'll go inside the Photoshop. We'll use it Photoshop AI to help us fix it some backgrounds, prepare for this. And of course, we'll go over this process to create this image Star Wars themed with properly or fitted backgrounds and everything. So kind of we'll see how it's practical use of AI generated art to create our own compositing. So let's go ahead and start working on this. Hello there. So all of this negativity about AI art going, and I figure out the reason is probably because people just don't know how to use it new tool. I think it is hype, it's misuse of the tool, but it is a great addition to the people. And for example, when you created compositing work. And I give you example in this workflow. So what we're going to do, here's a image from photoshoot. We have it is Star Wars kind of themed photoshoot was. And we set on a platform with a chair, gray background, so we can compositing. And now we will go composite this. And I'm going to process this inside the Photoshop, and we're going to use it Midjourney with several steps to create image. So let's go ahead and start work on this. Right here, we open this image inside the Adobe Bridge for preview. And you can see it was shot at 4:1125 because we shot in a studio with a lighting. And a lighting, its dish was located on top and one on the side to give it this nice wrapping light, but also a little bit dramatic lighting. What we're going to do from selection our image, we just double time, and that will open our image inside the camera raw. So here is our image open. One thing, let me point you that I'm working with 16-bit depth channel and I'm using Adobe RGB. Okay, some of you maybe used sRGB or Pro Photo or some other ones. It is up to you. This is just what's showing what my workflow from my digital camera to the processing. Okay, now here we won't do too much. Couple important keys however I want to do. The one, you can see they're like right here we have it highlights from the diffuser, and I don't want to lose any information because we shot in camera raw. We have way more data in our camera and we can recover. What I'm doing is take highlights and bring them down. Problem is when we bring highlights down, we do recover some of the sliding, but we are flattening our image because the image will base it on the luminosity levels. We can determine the shape. We also bring a little bit shadows up, and let's go scroll down. In our details, I want to restore sharpness to about 70 points. And here's the important parts. In color mixer, we are going to, okay, where's my color mixer? I think I closed, there you go. Let's open again, and we're going to luminosity. And in luminosity, we can actually recover some of that, base it on a color. And we'll look on a color scheme, so the orange, and you can see we can recover some of these highlights we lost in our skin tone, but without compromising these highlights on our hard surfaces like this helmet. Just observe, see, we increased highlights there, but not in our helmets. And I kind of like to do these techniques because it is preserving shape, but also does not lose any information. If we scroll down in optics, you can see right here is enable chromatic, remove chromatic abbreviations and use it profile correction. Profile correction will help you to restore some bending and vignetting on the lens. As well, chromatic abbreviation removes some of this shifting in the colors that occur mostly on the edge of the lenses. And it doesn't matter how good is your lens, it always will happen. It's just effect of the optics and distortion in the light when it's passing through. When we're done, we'll go ahead and click open. At this moment, we open this image inside the Photoshop. In Photoshop, we can go just to verify mode image. You can see it's RGB type and it's 16-bit. So we don't work with HDR32, we work with 16-bit at this moment. Interesting things that inside the camera, usually when you shoot, it shoot with about 24, 26, depend on what camera bit. So it's actually more than 16 bit. It's why we utilizing this tone kind of scaling down when we process raw images. Why it's important for you to photo shoot when you do with a raw image, not a JPEG, beside the compression artifacts. Okay, so let's go closer and look. Overall, what I'm kind of determined what I want to do here, and I see it's beautiful setting set up, and it will be nice if we can put it some like maybe Darth Vader or Darth said the throne room. But I want to prepare first for this. So for this, I'm getting the radio show. I say it's cropping tool, and what I'm going to do, I actually first going to crop in, and reason is I'm cropping in so I can remove some information that I don't need it, but I need bigger canvas. And the nice things about this, when we remove, let's remove right here, be sure we set delete, and let's uncheck content aware for now, and we'll go press enter. What it does, it's cut in. Next we'll do same, only we want to extend, so I want to put it quite a bit up. We'll put it on the sides. Just be sure makes model a little bit smaller looking, and at this point we have it content aware enable. When we're done, let's press enter. What does Photoshop does, it's actually utilize AI. In many cases people don't know, but Photoshop using AI renders for a long time already. It's called Sensei. It was introducing, I don't know what, 5-6 years ago sometime. And by the way, all this content aware, look what it does. It's actually generating those images. If you're familiar to working with Dall-e or other ones, it's called outpainting in those elements when you supply, except you don't supply texturing here. AI just analyze surrounding and creating, like see these lines, how well done these diagonal lines and everything. That is important to understand that AI already used in our process, and many digital artists already use it AI for a long time. Okay, so let's go ahead right here. We extend it a little bit more. I want to make quite a bit bigger. And the reason why to make our model a bit smaller, we can create beautiful background that kind of emphasize on the size, on how huge and stuff going on. So and notice what I'm doing. As I'm increasing in size, again, we will be sure it's content aware. I want to do the small steps. The reason a small step, because if we do big, it's maybe sampling some areas that I don't want copy, like your face. I don't want double faces or other things to do. So, but increase small, it will analyze some surroundings of these images and extend in this area. Just look what's happening. Excellent. We do still have it like right here, some sampling problem going on. And we can fix this. All what we need to do is just take our tools, spot healing brush. Don't worry about too much about this background, because we'll use it some overlay effect on this, and it should fix it. Okay, next, I'm not sure what I want to do right here. Maybe I want to extend. For now, we can also just take and painting again. This is in painting, I think it's what call actually. And look how it's extended. So I'm just taking, I'm painting in Photoshop. Okay, it's not Midjourney or anything. And it does its in painting effect by analyzing all this texture. And look, it's extended just perfectly. Okay, so if you are a digital artist, you already use it AI for long time. Don't be scared about all other stuff going on. Okay, let's go ahead. I'll fix a couple more things right here. Oh, look, we have a piece of the shoes is sampling. It's what I was saying. I don't want to search sample this. There you go. We don't need to be too high on details, because all of this kind of will cover with our overlay. Right here I have a little bit light leak from, I think it's from our octabox on the top. So we have a little bit, and I just removed this one. I think at this moment it's ready, kind of set. Maybe, let's just be nice and a little bit bring right there to balance. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, our next step, I want to just retouch. So this moment, I want to prepare the model, be ready for us to drop in our background before we jump and start creating this inside the Midjourney. For this, I will create a new layer on top. If you want, you can copy. Some people like to create smart object and other things. Most time from I don't know how many times from 1994 I work with Photoshop, handful times when I need to go back to original, and most time not. And again, you can save it original, you still have it in your RAW, so it does not necessarily you need to worry about make copies of background. However, retouching and all effects that I'm going to do right now, I'm doing non-destructive on a new layer. Okay, we'll go call this retouch, and we're going to select our brush, what we have before. And by the way, this is spot healing brush tool. Let's go closer to our model face. And generally what I want to do, it is not remove some imperfection on the skin, but dim down or something like right here. See, this is distraction, so I will remove it. We'll leave it, it's look natural. This one a little bit too big, two of them. I remove it, remove this scar slightly. Same like right here, a little bit scar. So I don't want to remove all imperfections. I want some that is, if I look and it's take my eye to this instead of the eyes. This is what I'm worried. Okay, that is what I'm kind of try to little bit remove those ones. Okay, right there. There you go. Okay, now let's go look on our outfit. And an outfit, mostly I just want to remove the hair pieces. We don't need to worry too much about this. I'm also looking for the label. You know, sometimes the label maybe stick out, so we'll look for this. Hands look clean. Right here we have a few kind of, I think this is actually dog hair. It's possible. Okay, there you go. Just to remove slightly them. Look on the shoes. Shoes is what, like see right here we have some of the logos, like the Star Wars logo, you know. So we'll just hide this logo away. Not like it will be visible, but it's better if we don't have it. Okay, let's go zoom out a little bit. This is our helmet. So you see we have a grid right there visible on the helmet. We'll go to fix this in our next step, okay? But I think it's look okay on retouching. Next, what we want to do, it's a smooth out some of the texturing and details. This is help us to create more painterly effect. For this, we'll press Ctrl-Shift-Alt-E command, Option Alt-E on a Mac. This is go ahead, take all visible layers, merge them together and create brand new layer out of this. Okay, and we'll call this smooth. Okay, now in selecting smooth layers, we'll go to filter, noise, and inside noise we go to dust and scratches. This is will remove some of the small details based on the pixels we're selecting. And sometimes it's hard to determine what size you needed, but general what I'm doing, like look on the eye, and this is too blurry. Okay, so if we put a 10 for the size, I can distinguish. This is about what I want to do. I want to be sure I can distinguish easy eye, iris, you know, maybe even going to down 8. There you go. This is even better, but I want skin smooth. I don't want to see if I have some like scratches right there. I don't want to see them. That is my goal. Okay, also you can always look on the helmet. So when it's done this way, we can come close to helmet. And actually you can see some grid there, but it's okay. We'll leave it this around there. Next, I don't want to apply this filter everywhere because it lost details. We'll hold down Alt or Option. And while the smooth layer is selected, click on the masking. What it does is it will create a black mask. It's meaning all the effects we applied, it's invisible. And now we can use it actually brush tool right there. And we'll want to set our brush to soft, round. Okay, let me go to close all of this stuff. We'll go on the top. Right here, soft, round. And we want to be sure it's select about 10%. You can go even softer if you need it, like 9%. And we'll start painting in on our mask, because mask need to be selected with white brush. So what it does, it is add a little bit of the smoothness. We don't want to remove all texturing. We want to just kind of suppress a little bit down, make it less stand out. And I'm not touching eyes, I don't touch hair, only skin. Only skin in this one is work very well. And as well, let me show just example, like right here. Okay, if we're going and we'll click on our mask, you can see I done only on the skin, avoiding our eyes, hair. Or let's go look on a helmet. And remember, right here we see grid, so we can also paint over here, and it will smooth out, kind of blending. If we need it, we can run another one more time the noise, so it will remove some of this effect. But I think even this way, it's already work very well. These techniques work great on, like, if you have sunglasses and you have the reflection, you want to remove it, but you still want to have this specular lighting or other things, so it's a great way to do this. Okay, so we're down on the face. Let's go a little bit down to the neck. Okay, all what we do, we're removing some of the detalization, minimize a little bit, creating smoother and nice only on a skin. And as we done this, you know what, I don't know if I done by the eye, so let me go right here just a little bit. Yeah, there you go, by eye. Okay, let's go ahead on the hands. We don't need to forget the hands as well, because otherwise our grain level won't be matching. It's okay, we'll restore some of the grain we're losing with different layer, but right here it will help us smoothness and create nice, beautiful look. Okay, there you go. If you use Wacom pen, you can use it the touch sensitive. I'm using mouse, and because I'm using mouse for this, it's why my opacity is low for the brush. I just perform a few more strokes than if I used Wacom. I think this is look good at this moment, so let's go ahead. Next step, again, Control-Shift-Alt-E, Command-Option-Alt-E to take all layers and combine them together, and we'll call it hair. So in the hair, we're going to select filters, stylize, and in stylization, we're going to oil painting. Oil painting would allow us to take strings and kind of, you can see, remove it. The reason is sometimes hair look messy because when we photoshoot, we have this noise, the cross section, which create hair look messy. With these techniques, it will allow us to go along the line of the hair. I don't necessarily want to apply like on a clothing, but hair will work very well. Our stylization is 10 points, clearness 10, scale 0.7. You can do 0.5 or 1, it depends how what scale on the brush you want it. And brush details maximum, also sun, because our lighting going from top left in this case, kind of, it's because it's side and top, it's why I'm positioning from that area to match some of the lighting for this. Let's go ahead, click OK. And sometimes when I notice this is not enough, it's too soft. So what we want to do is going to filters, sharpen, and we'll go to unsharp mask and apply on this additional unsharp mask. And you can see how much it is increasing. So we'll go about maybe 150. Let's go click OK. We don't want to apply all of this everywhere. Actually, I don't want to apply with this kind of string. For this, again, Alt or Option and click on the mask to hide as we done before. And now with a white brush, we can brush in some of this effect in an area where I want it, and most important, how much I want to put it. Like for example, let's look on this hair. Notice as we're painting, you see how lines appear. That is a great actually techniques to bring your hair, clean your hair. And if you person wearing wig, if we go closer to the wig and skin, we can actually blend this very nice. So it does not even look like it was a wig at all. And plus few more areas you can use this one. And if you're interested, you can watch my other videos where, for example, I done with the Renaissance. You can see how we can do with flowers and other effects. Okay. We don't need to apply everywhere, so we'll apply there. Let's go closer. Maybe, just do a little bit on the eyebrows. Just add a shape, because I think the last little bit you can add to the eyelashes. Just a little bit, not too much. Not too much. Okay. I think we're kind of clean. Okay, our next step, it is work a little bit more on the shapes. And as you remember, shapes, what I was said before, it is with luminosity level. So for this reason, we'll go create a new layer, and we call this dodge and burn. This is old techniques. A lot of people use it. This actually, this is in its 1800 something was techniques dodge and burn. So it's so old. Okay. And we're going to fill up with 50% gray, so your image should look like this, all the way gray. But we need to switch this to our soft light mode. Okay, in a soft light mode, I want to take my brush, and we will work with the two type of the brush. We work with the white and black. And I just says foreground, background. And if you press X key, you can see how the switching between. This is help us to going between highlights and shadows. Okay, so right here, let's go come closer. And I start with the shadows, increase brush, and we same 9%, same what before, soft round. We just start adding a little bit shadows. If you're not sure where to add shadows, I start with emphasizing shadows that we already have. So I'm just making them slightly darker. That will help me. The other things also, you can always just open on a book and just going with creating 8 parks on a people. Suggestions where I do recommend add shadows, like right here was a hair meet skull, because usually this is thinner hair. And if we have lights coming from top from our dish, this is, even it's in real life, will look very thick, but because it's so much lights coming, it will suppress and you'll see more skull, and the hair will look much thinner here. To fix this, you'll just need to have the shadow darker and just add a little bit more. And you'll notice how the hair will look a little bit more thicker. It will fix that problem with a very strong lighting going on top. Okay, also shapes. Why it's good? Look on the lips. So if we have it darker here, you remember that far away, it's a darker and bigger is lighter. So if we done this way, we can do line like right here on the lips. And you know, it's increased puffiness. Just look on this. Okay, before, after. You see how lips puffin? Again, it's just because luminosity. We can do magic with this, okay? And let's go next. We'll just add a little bit, specular lighting, a little bit more highlights on the nose, which is create kind of beautiful, like almost painting effect for us. Okay, a little bit right here, specular highlighting. And I'm using bracket keys to increase, decrease size of the brush. This way it will help me to create those highlights and shadows. Okay, there you go. If we look on a face before and after, right here before and after, you can see it does not change much, but it's add just a little bit enough shape to look better. So next we can do same things for around outfit. And outfit, I'll do exactly the same. I just emphasize with the darker folders, like right here, folding, you know what I mean? Maybe on the hands also we need to do, there you go, make a little bit darker those areas. Okay, and right here I just want darken skin. And usually I will dark this area because attention, it's when people look. So what I was meaning by this, if you look on this and your eyes going to some details and not to eyes, that maybe if it is not attentional, then it's not good. So you want to do this. Okay, we're done with the darkness. Let's go highlights. And highlights, I'm just taking and draw a line. See where's the folding going, like right there. There. It will help us to create a little bit more shapes, kind of almost HDR look. And if we look on normal, like right here, you can see how it's going, highlights and shadows in general. It's how going with this. Okay, let's go back to our soft light. Right there, add lines, and we'll just draw a little bit more highlights on what's happening. If you wonder, till I'm doing this, I'll let you know this rope, I got it on my last trip to Disneyland. It is actually, I think it's a Jedi rope they sell there, and it's surprisingly warm and good quality, so I don't mind actually wear this one in a public. Well, public maybe care about this, but I don't at this moment. Okay, we add shadows, and notice what I'm doing. I'm using X key to jump between background and foreground, flipping them, and it's allowed me to add at any time faster shadows and highlights. This helmet I think look okay, so we don't need to worry about highlights here. And I think this is almost all. We can add a few to the chair, just make it darker, but it's more environmental. For me, what is important is just create our image. So let's go ahead, before and after. Maybe a little bit too dark on the face, look more like drawing, but it's what going after if you look on the CG and everything. And if you think it's too much, you always can go back to like white color and just fix it. Flatten a little bit less, so it's look less permanent. But if you don't need it, you can change again. This is non-destructive. Okay, at this moment, I think we're ready to jump and start working on our background inside the Midjourney, so we can go create some. So before recording this video, I already play around with some ideas on the background, and usually it's take a little bit time to come up with some ideas, but I think I have it from previous. I have it what I know what I want to do, and I want to create like dark serious throne room, because if you look right here, look, it is sitting on a chair. Okay, we can put it maybe or like a Star Cruiser, Star Destroyer, something behind, maybe sit there. But because with helmet, I think it's kind of cool if we just have it like dark serious throne room and it's sitting right there. So it's what I want to do on the background. And for this, what I went and I created a different experiments with this. By the way, all of them you can access and you can even download it if you're going to my profile as Geekatplay at the Midjourney. So just search for the Geekatplay and you can access. You can see I created a bunch of them, different ones, and we can go over them to review. But before this, let's actually type and see what we're going to do. And obviously, what we have a dark cities throne room. So this is what I wanted as first. We'll go ahead, we'll go imagine, type, and I'm just have a dark cities throne room. That's what I want to do. Next, I want to kind of specify to more theme that I want to go around. And the Star Wars environment will describe very well for the AI in what environments it should look for. It should look for the like Star Wars type. Okay, next, I want to create tall ceilings, because if you let's look what we have right here, and in a way as progression was going, because you can see right here it's normal environment I was creating, but I want like columns, you know, it is look great, interesting backdrop, but I want something massive. I don't know if you saw the movies one when they fight and it was in some throne and it's look huge columns, tall, all this big, and that is what I wanted. So and that's when we start creating. After I create this throne room, I start adding additional elements. And let's try, because this is done like in Midjourney 4 version, and I says, okay, let's go try Midjourney 3, because version 3 does, if you can see, create all this kind of tall, big columns in this case. But the problem sometimes with the 3, if you look, it's creating this grainy stuff, which is look interesting, but sometimes it's more destructive. What you can do, you can actually reference this to another image. So let me show it begin. We'll go right here, environment. Let's go. I'm just copying very tall ceilings, massive column, epic look, cinematic, overwhelmed feeling, dark, photorealistic, high details, ultra sharp, and most important, I want aspect ratio 2:3 because it is portrait mode. So let's go ahead right here. We're pasting this and press enter. It does render. At the same time, just to compare, I'm going to render with version 3. And 2 of them done. As those process, I can jump a little bit above and show you what was done before, so we can kind of work without waiting. Okay, so right here it's version 4, and you can see it's come up with very interesting, and we'll use it probably some of them, see how they come up. Okay, but if we're going down to version 3, which is right here, it's a Midjourney version 3, and you can see how this one is look perfect. Look on that. Nice throne just sitting right there. Okay, and so we'll render high resolution. And I do like this, you know, and actually I can go ahead and click even upscale to max on this, because the problem is when we render this size, it is 1024. So it's kind of a limited size for us. But also other things what you can do with the one, if you like how it's look, but you want cleanness of V4 version. So all what we need to do right here, we'll just go and replace this version with version 4 on our remix prompt. In this case, we'll use this image as our base image for what we're going to do with the background, but it's rendered in a cleaner and newer algorithm. Okay, so let's scroll down, and you can see always, I never just create one, I create several different copies. Like right, actually this one is looking not bad either. I create a bunch of them and render different ones so I can go over afterwards and compare. If you ask some question about plan what I'm using unlimited, and reason is because I render a lot of images. Oops, actually not imagine. Let me go info so I can show you what I'm doing. And with the and it does help me to create not limit. And if you just started, I highly recommend for you start with unlimited and afterwards go to cheaper plan after you complete it. So it just, you know, actually save you a little bit more money. And you can see right here, this is, I'm on a 15 hours plan, but I can use it a relax mode. I use it to fast mode mostly when I do tutorials or I needed some upscale. Usually it's in relax mode, and I'm getting closer to 25,000 images rendered in Midjourney. Okay, let's see what we have at this moment as we were speaking. Right here you can see it does render all of this. Well, this one look also very cool. It's render version 4. This is our another version 4 as we put it in. And let's click on this, and yeah, they look very nice, very interesting, but we have it figures inside. And to fix this, we can just click and says no people. That will help, but it's okay. I leave it as default because I don't want anything from this. We already have plenty. And this is our version 3, and version 3 come up with some columns. Sometimes they have the cool, but I don't need columns. You know, I don't think it's pick up very well in this case. However, this one, it's what I wanted, because we took our version 3 before and we add render in version 4, and you can see how much cleaner it is, but it still present all of this top stuff. So let's look what I write here. We have this image, I like it, and I like this one. This is a little bit big and empty. I think I may be going with this 3, 1, 2, and 3. And this upscale 4, it's this fourth one. I don't need it. Okay, here also we have it upscale to max is our, let's go click on original. And you can see this is high resolution. Well, semi-what high. But again, it's have this little bit grain with, I'm not kind of, you know, I like it original, but I think more I played with version 4, the more I like it. Okay, so let's go ahead right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and download these images we created in Midjourney. And best way to do this actually, it's going to your Midjourney app, to this area right here, and this way you can easy to go and preview, see images a little bit in big areas, and you can download this way. The best way to download them all is going on the kind of top right almost. You see where's the arrow with kind of like the pointing. So we'll select this. It's allowed us as multiple select, and you notice when I go over, I click on the images and it is highlight them with the green, so it's allowed me multiple select images, and I'm just going over and select all. For now I select all of the upscale images. And reason why I select all of them, and I like to do this, because sometimes I may find I like this top part from this image but bottom from another, and it's allowed me to remix. If I just select one, I limit it myself, and anyway I already paid actually to render these images anyway. So when it's done, we'll go ahead right here, click open, and you can see it is prepared to download zip file, so you can download it as those images. And currently it's 36 images selected. We'll go download all. You may be limited if you have it like huge amount. You maybe says downloaded 1, 2, or 3 files, so it's take time. And okay, it's a processing, and on a browser right here it start downloading. So all what I need to do, go ahead, open the zip file and uploaded files in my work directory. And right here is our files. We go select all of them and drag and drop, put it in my work directory. Next, let's go back to our Facebook. Oh, there, Facebook. Wow. Okay, let's go to our Photoshop. There you go. And inside Photoshop, we actually can take and preloaded some of those images, see which one they look good here and how they applied. And I'm just usually goes to look on another screen. I open different screens with preview, and what we're doing, we just drag and drop, and I'm just doing as example. But notice what's happened right here. When I drag and drop, it's a much smaller. Oh, you know what? And if we upscale, it can be blurry. So what I like to do, I like to actually use it for this gigapixel AI. And you can purchase, I will put a link right there. I love this application. I used to upscale inside the Photoshop, but problem inside the Photoshop, it does not using actually AI to upscale to add details. This is actually work very well. And what I usually do, I take all these photos that I created, because you can do just single, but I do usually all of them. Select, drag and drop. Look on this, all 36 photos right here. And to compare how it's work, we can come look like on details right there. Let's go zoom in a little bit closer even, like right there. And you can see there is before, if we upscale, and here's after. Look on the amount of details. It's actually creates beautiful work done. And we're going to upscale right here 6 times, so it will create quite a bit large image, which is okay. We can shrink always down. And we'll select standard mode, suppress nodes if you need it. I think we're good. This is work very well if you have it like JPEG files, upscale or other things. And we can just click save 36. So all those images, it's one best part. I don't need to process single image at a time. I can upload all this, click save 36 images, and it will process all of them in my upscale directory for that. Because when we click on this, it says where you want to save it, and I just need specify properly area. Okay, so I put it in my render, Star Wars upscaled images, and we'll go ahead and click start, and you can see right here it will process quite a bit fast. By the way, till it's processing, let me point, this is Geekatplay AI from Topaz Labs. If also, you don't need it worried if you have this up before they come up with photo now. And interesting things, because I went to my account and I find they just give it for free. And I did purchase, they don't give me any software, so I purchased all software from them. And it just upgrade was there. So be sure you just go check your account. If you already have it, Geekatplay AI, maybe you have it. They give you photo AI there as well. Photo AI, just take all of those, upscale, noise reduction, and I forget some other ones in sharpness, and combine them together in one nice pack. And when you install it, you will have it inside filters. Right here you can see Topaz Light, and you will have it Photo AI, or this is 2 other ones. Notice you cannot actually upscale from inside the Photoshop. It does not allow you to do this. You need it run as external applications, which is okay. I think they could done with Photo AI to upscale inside the Photoshop. All what you need to do, just save as a new file. Just create new file in Photoshop and save there. But I don't know. I think they will figure out how to do this. And let's go ahead and see what we have right now. Okay, let me go ahead and put the same upscaled image, and we'll see size and resolution. And you can see it's a huge difference. It's actually bigger than this image. It just only tried to frame. So I'm going to scale up. Okay. And so scale, you know what? Let me scale this one as well so we can compare. And I'm just saying a scale like around there. Okay, let's go come closer, closer. And you can see, okay, this is our, see what I was worried? It's like these lines, and look on, and this is upscale. I mean, a day and night is different. Yeah, it's the reason why you want upscale. So we don't need this one. We can trash it. We still have our other ones. And I don't know if I will use this one because it does have kind of standing, but it's give me ideas. What I do with this image is when I put it on, and I set to like maybe overlay or soft light. On this case, I can preview, like I can see where it's located. We can take this image and says, okay, I want maybe position like around here. You know what? Maybe this one actually will work. Let's Control Command T to scale up. And I'm just looking on a platform. You see where's the platform? So we can put a platform around her feet. And create this way. Actually, you know what? This may work very good. The chair going on the middle, like right there. You can even scale like right here. There you go. Okay. And now we can go switch. Come closer look. And you can see right there we have a nice beautiful platform. and a nice background. So that is a one version, but we also have those other one beautiful versions. And let me bring in, you remember with the kind of lights going up like these ones. So that one is version 3. Okay, and I'm just going to increase slightly. Okay, that is scaling. And the same, we can go soft light and preview. See, this is kind of interesting going up, but I think it's too close actually. But we can try this, and this is another upscale one. The reason is I want kind of maybe create behind slightly, so we'll put it this way. Let's set this to soft light and look what we will have. You know, I actually have to look, I think maybe columns doesn't work. This is what's nice about this. I think this one will work much better. And you know what? Actually, if we take this image, oops, this one I wanted, Command T, and we scale even a little bit bigger, like around there, that maybe even will work slightly better. We still have this person on the back, which we can easily fix it. Okay, so let's go ahead, put right there, and this person, I don't know what this was on the back, we'll go to normal mode, and this element we can create actually layer. Okay, and let's take our brush as we did before, and we'll just start removing like right there, because I don't want that person on my background. Okay, and by the way, when I do this is sampling all layers, so it's actually, we don't destructive because it's a smart object, but we are creating overlay over this with it, just removing. And notice what I'm doing, I'm trying to be a little bit careful, because I don't want, if I do too much like right here, we're probably getting some of the edges which I'm not necessarily wanted. But we'll go just fix a couple like right there, and I think this is almost enough, because her chair will hide rest of the stuff. Okay, let's go ahead, take both of these, and I want to group them. The reason is helping grouping, because we can go and now select down and set like a soft light, and it's grouped all of them together at this time. Okay, let's zoom out, see what we have that is. And I think it's actually look good. So our next step, we want to take this room and integrate it inside. I'm just looking what is a better way to do it. Should we put it on center? Like right here, and we can actually take this and cut a little bit more this light away, because this is destructive light, so we can actually take and bring right there, just to center it this way. Notice we have a beautiful effect. So in this case, I want disable delete cropped images, because I still play around, you know, I don't want it be sure it's we don't use any information at that time. Okay, so next we start working with kind of overlays. Okay, let's take this too, we don't need it, we'll work with this, and we'll go create Alt or Option, and we'll create mask. But you know what, let's try with just normal for now. Okay, we create normal, and with Alt or Option, take our mask and create black mask, so it's hiding, and we'll use it Y tool, and we'll start painting in. Here's the thing, so you can paint, set like 6-10%. The other things that I've found, it's kind of, if you want half tone, we can click on a painting tool, and right here we can go 50%, so it will create 50% gray. Click OK, and click like 0 or 100% opacity, and so now we know for sure we're doing only 50% opacity we're painting in. Okay, and I like this way because we preserve some texturing that's going on the background. You can see right here we're preserving some of these elements which we can still use. We can still use like around these areas, we can still use this if we want it. If we don't want it, we can always going, you know, just hide and leave it like platform by itself and apply something. And I maybe, you know, I may leave it platform there, we'll see, or just create hard line right there. Okay, let's go right now, we'll paint it in back our stuff, zoom in, And the best things about this overlay, because if you notice right here, see, we have it overlay, we can still go back, restore it. That's what we're going to do. Okay, we'll go right there. Just leave it closer. Soft lights sometimes work a little bit better on a blending, but it's okay. You know, we're going. Okay, let's go right there. A little bit by the hair. And in some cases, I like to use maybe even, you know, pen tool to remove it, but I think we're okay at this moment. Actually, why I'm doing here, it's a chair. Yeah, silly me, yes. Okay, let's go right there. Go by the chair. There you go, like right there. And we'll create a little bit more easier. So this has helped me just outline. You could also use it, the object selecting tool in Photoshop, which utilize another AI, and it's work not bad. I'm just sometimes forgetting I have those awesome tools, you know, and I'm just start using by hand. But right here, done. Let's go right around there. There you go. Don't worry if you got a little bit excited like me and gone a little bit over areas, so it's okay. We'll come back there to fix it. Right now what I want to do, I want to just see how it will look. So we'll go right there, and I think this is actually look not bad. It's nice. Add hazing right here a little bit, so we'll add a little bit more haze to this area. I think this is look nice, and let's go right now and make a little bit cleaner. For this we'll have it 100% black, and I'm just going right there to the edges. And I'm just painting closer to the edges. Some to fix like effect right there. Not everywhere, we want to be careful, but little bit, leave it on the edges, okay, because that is will create semi-transparent look. It will create almost like a light leak. It's what we wanted. We don't want all the way, but we want just a little bit, leave it right there. Okay, let's go right here. Helmet, hard edge. Actually, I probably, you know, just a pen tool and masking will work magically here, but I think this works. So like right there, we have a little bit leak, and I want to leave it this because it is creating this slightly effect of the kind of haze light. So it's good way to do this. Okay, and we'll add to the rope. There you go. It's not that hard. It's not that bad, and you can see how easy we can create it and already apply it. So okay, before and after definitely will look better. We have some elements we need to create right on the sides around this area. Okay, one thing when you start working with compositing, you notice our luminosity levels are different because what we created, and you can see luminosity level here is a little bit different from other things. Of course, we're using gray 50%, so it's not all the way, which is good. We're going to switch this. I'm going to create white color, going to set to about like maybe 5-6%. Click on my mask, and where's the lights going? I want to add a little bit more of the lighting, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of from 100%, from, you remember we used 50% of the our gray. Right now I'm using more white light, and it should be creating very good lighting for us. So it will create this beautiful light leak. Again, don't worry if we're stepping out like right here, because we always can switch to the black, going closer. Okay, increase to like 40% and just paint back if we done too aggressively in some areas. That is okay, and we always need to clean up. Like on her forehead, we don't need these, and we can kind of a little bit fix there. Okay, let's go back here a little bit. You know, when you have a tool, you get too happy, and that's what happened to me. Okay, we'll switch to maybe 10%. Let's go 10% opacity, back to white color, and we'll just start kind of add a little bit more brightness to these areas. Okay, this has helped us to some contrast areas to add. also maybe on the top. So our background, because we have a very beautiful background, you know what I mean? And we can actually just like add some elements here. Okay, a little bit darker to the bottom. We want, this is a blending area, and we want actually blend in this area quite a bit. And we can do this with the additional tools, and I'll show you. We'll have it like fog probably, and add some other stuff there. Okay, so let's work a little bit on luminosity. And here's interesting things, because we need to actually apply luminosity to our background. And the reason is because if we go and try to create like curves before for our model, and let's switch this to luminosity, what's happening, you notice it's applied to background as well, because we have this 50% transparency. So instead we can go up above, hold down Alt or Option, click on our arrow, so we only apply to our background right here, and we can work on this luminosity level, just add to our background. So we can take our black level, increasing a little bit right here, and pop up contrast rate. So that way we can kind of matching with our background. And this is a nice way to, okay, there you go. I'm just playing a little bit more. So let's somewhat matching contrast. We'll add a little bit more overall luminosity level to all image as well, but I think this way we can work very well. Okay, so let's go ahead next, see what we're going to do. And right here, I think you can see our edge does not look good at all. Okay, so we're kind of messing up right around there. So let's go ahead and fix a little bit of this. We have several choices. One, we actually can cut off this and make it a little bit nicer, and for that we actually need to almost like remove this background right here, masking off. Let's do this way. So if we look on our image, let's look right here, what we have it right there. You can see it's a gray image, and this is what we need to do. We create new image. Let's go call this extender for our backdrop. And what I actually want to do, I want to take and extend right to this area. Okay, for this we want to actually mask, and I want to mask. We'll go take our pen tool. Okay, I'll go select from here, pen tool. I'll go select maybe up to here, there. Let me look maybe a little bit lower, like around there, and straight. So this is one. Okay, and we want about same from here. So this is our next one. We'll go inside, and we'll just go like right there and select. There you go. So those two areas, because we also created, we can right click and says create vector mask. So we have it our masking area. And right now what we can do is take our clone tool, click anywhere on the image to clone, and because we're on the same level inside here, 0, 100%. Oh no, I don't want to clone there. We can just clone this one. Okay, we can clone a little bit better. And notice what's happening. We'll just cloning right around here. It's all what we do. We can do this in some other ways, but I think this is just a little bit safer for me. Be sure we don't go over, oops, cloning wrong way. There you go, kind of like this. And now if we're going back to our image, notice it is much better. So we have before and after. It just help, I think, a little bit. And we can also going inside our masking, because we done some of this work and work a little bit better on the masking. Let's go ahead, black 10%. We'll just remove slightly masking from this area right there, increase contrast rate, and slightly reduce here. You know what is this one? Something right here, some happening. and I need to find where's that come from. So it definitely come from not here, maybe from some image. No, it's come from here. There you go. Okay, yeah, we trace what is this, and we'll just hide this away. There you go. I just was kind of hiding, don't know where's that come from. I think it's from image. There you go. So that is a little bit better. We do have this inconsistency in little bit brighter and lighter, kind of like haze, which is okay. We can fix this. And you know, I'm not sure if I like this bottom that much. Let me go ahead, take this tool and just bring, yeah, kind of like this, because I think it was a little bit too much at the bottom showing for us at this time. Okay, I think this is almost preset to our next step. And the next step, what we want to is work a little bit more on the blending. You notice we have a problem with the lights. We still have a problem with our contrast rate, because right here we have it a little bit more glowing and we don't have it on ours, so we can work with luminosity level. Before I jump to this, I want to create also light. This will help me. Okay, let's go above, create one, and we'll go rays. So this will be our sun ray, well, our light ray. We'll have it our brush, and we'll put it like 30% opacity. We'll click from, actually, you know what? Let's go hold from top, click once, hold down Shift key, and click again. And you can see it's create these lines. So now I'm just going to create those arrays. Again, go on the top, click down, and you can see it's create this kind of ray lines. Okay, there you go, like this. Next, we'll go to filter, blur. We'll go to use it Gaussian blur on this. Maybe not too much, just about right here. Click OK and switch this to soft light. So this way we can create kind of like almost lighting going from this area. And also it's help us blending some of those images. I think at this time we can work on a little bit environmental dodge and burn. So we'll go create new layer. We'll call this dodge and burn. Okay, let's go to fill up this 50% gray, normal mode, 100% opacity, and we'll switch this to the soft light. At this moment, we can fix some of these elements, what you can see. Okay, oh, let's go 10%. We can fix it some of these lighting elements by add some lights, this area, lights around there, kind of creating this environment a little bit better. As well, we can switch to the darker black color and add a little bit more contrast to the background. Sometimes if I'm doing too fast, you can see AI. And you know what, maybe let me put it darker here, see if it's work. Yeah, I think that's work a little bit better. And this way we can work with a little bit better matching our luminosity levels and other ones. Okay, so right there, there you go, perfect. Okay, another cool tool I have, and I like to use that tool, it's called Anuric. And you can do by yourself, by hand if you want it, but this is actually one of the I'm using almost all the time, whatever I created, because this is created the light strikes, light blur, this glowing effect. I mean, it's awesome. So let me show you how it's work. If we click on generated, the one thing what I actually don't like it because it's spanned all through the big screen. Okay, and right here we have it our. Okay, so there's Anuric. Let's go create generate Anuric and select blue one. I add to the yellow, but I want to add also to the blue, so it's glowing a little bit more. And usually what it done with images work very well when we have it color combinations kind of nice, like bluish and cyan and other ones. Okay, so for example, right here we have this, see, kind of bluish, cyanish and warm. So we'll go with this. I'll go click on a mask, and I'm just masking in areas where I want actually blue lights going. So I'm just masking here. You know what? Let's mask a little bit on a helmet as well to make it a little bit colder. Right there. There you go. Okay, when we're done with mask, we'll click OK, and it will apply mask in a second. And the next, what are we going to do is enable colorization, because right now, if we look at these, just to add light. So I want to add colorization to this. And I want to add colorization, again, cyan, little bit more this cold elements, kind of cold look on this. So let's go ahead, add right here, and notice it does not apply that much because probably it's not high intensity. If we click on a mode called X-ray, we can preview where it's visible, and it's a little bit. So increase would need pop-up threshold just slightly up, and you'll notice in the X-ray, it's showing the areas that will be affected by our filters, which is kind of very nice for this plugin. And I can say, okay, that is a perfect. Okay, let's turn off X-ray, and you can see how the glowing going. It is a little bit too in a greenish, so let's switch a little bit more to the blue. Okay, and I think it's still be kind of maybe threshold a little bit too high now. Let's go take down threshold. There you go, that's look better. And we'll go click save, and we'll call it cyan color. Okay, and here we have two beautiful things. We have our cyan color a little bit glowing, and we have other behind the screen. So this is kind of very nice added, I think, element to our view, just a little bit more colorization, more sci-fi-ish look, kind of. Okay, pattern floor still does not look as good as I wanted, so I think maybe I'm going to apply some metal plating. And this metal plating, it's again created with Midjourney. And if you're interested to create some texturing, you can see Midjourney create beautiful texture. You just need this like metal plates, texture, sci-fi space, shape, panels, futuristic tiles, photorealistic scratches, Star Wars texture. So it's creating these nice, beautiful panels for us. We can use it. And then what I'm going to do is apply those panels just maybe under this element, put it down right here. Let's press edit, transform, and why is my edit? Right here, there's a transform, and we're going to distort. We'll go bring this a little bit down like this. Okay, scale, and now I need add perspective. So in the perspective, I'm just going to drag these ends a little bit out to create my perspective. There you go, like this. Okay, now press enter. And we'll need switch this mode to, let's go look on a soft light overlay. Yeah, soft light. Let's go with soft light. Okay, again, hold Alt or Option, click on a mask to hide. And we'll take our brush tool with a white color. Be sure it is soft round. Let's go 10% opacity. And we can brush in this texturing we have. What it does, it just add a little bit more, I think, effect overlay, so it just does not look too boring elements. And this is why I call it these overlay type compositing, because we're actually using this overlay modes and we have it all layers visible for us. So we have it originals and we have it other ones. You can see like this panel, look on that. It's look much interesting, I think, than was just a plain gray. And again, we'll set with our perspective. There you go. So we have a panel done. Let's look out. Yep, I think the panel overall. We still have this problem a little bit now with the mods because we have it. See how light here, the contrast, all this does not work. Let's fix this one. And this is kind of like a tip or trick, you can say, because the easiest way to is just overlay with some fog and smoke areas. So we create new layer. Let's go call it fog. And we'll take brush, right click, and what I'm going to use, it's a Ron's fog brushes. I got them purchased from Das 3D. You can probably find online some similar ones, but I just like how I work with them. You know, when you have the right tools, you like it, you kind of keep it. And I hold down Alt key and I sample color right around there. See, it's sampling. So now we put a 100% brush and I just press like right there. You see what's happening? We'll just kind of matching a little bit. You can even increase a little bit bigger. And if you need it, sample some different color. Add a little bit of this color if you need it. I think that is too strong, but I want just add a little bit. And I don't necessarily add same color all the time. You notice I'm fixing, but look now. It is kind of combining together. Always create different layers, because this way you can combine and you can play a little bit more with opacity on the layers. So for example, if I go and I select this color and just create this way, then I can go with opacity and reduce opacity and make it slightly glowing. You see how they start matching? So now we kind of start blending a little bit more in. Same like with even with black color, we can go select option and we can add a little bit more darker element here. Okay. Right there, just slightly. And again, we can play a little bit more with opacity or even with a blending mode. Okay, select overlay, and then you can actually add more details. And if you look with this now, look how edge is blending very well together. So we put it kind of nice areas. Okay, so next what I want to do, it is actually smooth grains, because if we look, we have a different grains, okay, different effect going around here. So for that, we'll go create new layer. Let's go call it grain, and this one actually fog 3 like this. So in the grain, we want to go and fill up with 50% gray as we done before, and we're going just only filters, noise, and we'll go add noise. We add noise about 10%. Let's go click OK and set this to soft light. All it does, it's create this kind of blending noise together, and you can see how edge they kind of start blending together. This is all what we need. We need kind of play with that. Well, I'm not sure that I have not helmet. I'm looking, we have it quite a bit leak. So let's go back to our backdrop. Okay, we'll go select brush. And let's go black color, 40%, and we'll just need it kind of paint black. So I don't think I like how right here was. Same, we can just a little bit fix it around here on a chair. This is nice things, you know, because we can always, if you see somewhere leak too much, we can go back and fix some of those elements. So we don't need to worry about them too much if it was too aggressive. Just small things fixed right here. Okay. So next what I want to do, it is add overlay color and all this stuff. And also a couple of ways to do this. One, Control-Shift-Alt-E, Command-Option-Alt-E, create a new layer overlay. And we're going to, oh, it's on the top. Let's drag this, actually delete it. And we need to go from grain, okay, on top layer. Control-Shift-Alt-E, so we create all of the behind, below all this combined. And we'll call this color, okay. And that one will go to filter. And we'll go to filter forge. Okay, and the reason is why, because I like filter forge. It's a node-based system, and I created specific filters, and you're more than welcome to download them. They're free. Filter forge application is not free. I'll let you know that ahead. However, all filters is free, and it's like I don't know how many thousands filters. And this is color correct. I create one, which is allowed to color toning, and you can see just by one click you can apply very easy. If you need it, you can open more in details, and you can actually play and specify if you need it. Like for example, I think maybe a little bit more red we can go, or cyan, which one we, if you want a little bit more colder. And this is another ways how you can, you remember we have it maybe color temperature different and other things, but with this stuff it's help us to create this color temperature bring together. I think like this. Let's go ahead, click apply. And what does it? Take this layer of the and apply it on the top with a luminosity kind of blending and coloring. And you can see how close it is. You don't necessarily need to use 100%. You can always, if you think it's too strong, just play around. And another ways you can do is going and create selective color layer. Then select black color. And you can see with the black, we can actually just go a little bit to make black a little bit in a bluish, just slightly. -1 in a green, maybe -2. And cyan, this is will make colder or warmer. You can play around which one color you want to do. Usually, if I select the darker black in a cold, then other one's warm and or opposite. And we'll just go right here, select This is another way, so you can also play with colorizations and you can see how it's applied. And I do like how it gets smoother, nice looking on this case. So this way you can also fix it colors or adjusting them as well as work with the colors. The one thing what we need to do is go ahead, click on our text and art photography, and just type whatever you want to type and tag. This is actually kind of watermarking, but not totally. And the reason is it's more for the people who like these things and try to say, hey, who did this awesome job? So I want them kind of know, but I don't want like this. So I will never put it open like this. Mostly it will be just teeny tiny, slightly hiding, because I want people to pay attention to this image, not to my name on the image. And you know what? People sometimes say, hey, why you don't put like on the middle so people cannot remove it? People can remove it. You know, they have it actually right now in software that easy. You can go and remove any watermarking if you want it. Okay, let's look. And we'll go to Control G, group everything, and call this retouching. And at this point, we can look before and after. Of course, we fixed some of the stuff here, extended, but general. You can see we add background, and it's now story. Before it's on the table, it's still kind of story, but this is now, it's much more interesting story with properly background. And what we generated background inside the AI, and you can see how it's a very powerful tool if you use it properly, if you use it for your artwork. And many people say it's steal it. No, it does not steal it. You just need, it's a bit ignorance to say that because you don't understand how it's work, but it is great tool to help you work. Well, thank you for watching this video. If you like it, give us thumbs up, subscribe, let me know what you think, and have a great time of creating.